As tonight we have a matchup between your Matsu Miners as they hit the road to face the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. I'm Reese Landon, joined by my partner Sean Neef. And today, starting for the Pilots on the mound, will be a guy with an interesting nickname, Zuko Tillman, left-hander, shorter guy on the mound for the Pilots. Zuko stands at an even 6 feet, 200 pounds. He's a junior from Cal State Northridge, a Highland, California native. For the Miners, on offense, they will have this lineup as follows. Leading off at second base, Josh Morozek. Batting second in left field, Tyler Wilson. Hitting third in right field, it's Casey Rother. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Kevin Nakamura. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, Nick Sorelli. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Jared Sweeney. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Ricky Nunez. Batting eighth and behind the plate, Sam Thompson. And hitting ninth at shortstop, it's David Bermudez. So Ricky Nunez back in the lineup after an absence. He's back in now after a bit of a hamstring injury.
How do you pronounce Josh's name? Rose. Thank you.
Yeah, and they're really going to like having him back. He might not be as blistering on the base path as he has been in the past, but making sure that he really nurses that injury and make sure that he doesn't re-injure himself, definitely going to make sure he doesn't have any more collisions in the outfield, is going to be a huge boost because he did get 2 hits in the last game he actually was able to play for the Miners. And right now we see Morozek, the leadoff batter for the Miners, getting ready for the first pitch.
Josh Morozek takes strike one on a fastball there for strike one from Tillman. Morozek on the year, 261 and 23 at-bats, 6 hits. He's knocked in a couple of runs, walked 3 times, and he's also stolen 4 bases as he watches ball 1 there, 1-1. Morozek can fly. Stole a couple of bags against the Chinooks in yesterday's doubleheader, game 2 of it. Zuko Tillman, here's the 1-1 fastball, missed off the plate, 2-1 here on Josh Morozek from Kent State University.
Sitting on the infield for the Glacier Pilots, they have Ethan Mann standing there at first base, a major power hitter.
As there's a little tapper foul up the line.
Heading towards Mann on that one. They got Blake Wink standing there at second base. It's going to be Faustel Lopez, their shortstop, and on third base, it's going to be Michael McNamara. Standing in the outfield from left to right, they have Tom Tabak. In the middle of the outfield, they have Devin Ornelas, and standing there in right outfield is going to be Cole Escher.
As here's a tapper back to the mound, throw to first is offline, and Josh Morozek's going to reach. The Glacier Pilots really thought they had him there, but the umpire calling him safe.
And not the first time we've seen Josh Morozek reach on air. He did that in the first game of the doubleheader as well when he got on by terms of walk, air, and hit.
It really looked like Josh Morozek was out there at first base. I am shocked they called him safe. Manager out of the dugout for the Pilots, Robert Anders out to argue. And now the umpires are going to converge on the infield, and you got to think maybe this call gets overturned. It really looked like Morozek was out. For now, it's going to go down as an E1 on the pitcher.
Well, we were expecting fireworks here early, but we were expecting it more from the bats than the manager themselves, and they're going to stay with safe.
Yeah, so Josh Morozek, one way or another, is aboard at first base, blazing speed. He can really move on the bases.
And you have to believe he's going to be looking to steal second almost immediately. That's what he does almost every single time he gets the chance.
Tyler LeBrun out talking to the home plate umpire now. He's going to head back into the dugout. It was a friendly conversation. As now we are back in play. It's going to be Tyler Wilson stepping to the plate for the Miners.
More likely just a thank you from LeBrun more than anything.
Wilson in 10 at-bats has 2 hits. Knocked in a run last night. Here's the pitch, and it's swung on and fouled back out of play. Mulcahy Stadium isn't the vast foul ground that Herman Brothers Field in Palmer is. I mean, there is not a lot of foul ground at all up the lines here.
Definitely going to limit their chances for foul outs. That's definitely more batter friendly, but this whole park is batter friendly, honestly.
There's a pitch grounded down the third base line, just foul by Tyler Wilson.
And that's another one of those that could have gone either way. It looked like, from our angle, that might have been able to stay fair for a little bit longer. but good eye there on third base to be able to let that one slide by.
McNamara, another Kent State guy, saw him greeting his teammates. Josh Morozic, Evan Wolf, as Morozic takes off for second here, pitches the ball, thrown out at second base. Not in time, the ball scooted out of the glove of Lopez anyway. Josh Morozic, blazing speed. Count them now, 5 steals on the year for Morozic, and the Miners have a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
The best thing about him is he really runs with his head down. He doesn't care who's in front of him, as you see him absolutely just taking out Lopez there.
Tyler LeBron loves Josh Morozic's speed. He's played all over. He's played at third base, center field, second base, where he's at today. Here comes the pitch from Tillman, and it's a fastball missing off the plate.
Made an incredible throw from center field as well in his first game last night in the doubleheader, able to keep them alive in extra innings.
2-2 now on Tyler Wilson. Here's the pitch from Tillman. Swung on, tap back to the mound. Tillman up with it. Actually, he bobbles it, and Wilson's going to reach base safely. So Zuko Tillman gets 2 tappers back to the mound on the first 2 batters, and the Miners are still going to have first and second here. Wow, Zuko Tillman on a slow tapper, unable to field it, squirted away from his glove up near third base.
Well, if you weren't sure he was going to have an error after that first hit, he's definitely going to have one now to his name, and that brings up a huge bat in Casey Rother.
Casey Rother to the plate now. Rother on the year hitting .364. He's got 8 hits, 4 of them for extra bases, has knocked in a run.
And right now, he's the only minor batter that's sitting above that 300 line as well.
Yeah. Miners are starting to get the team averages as a total up. Ricky Nunez back in the lineup today. He's their second leading hitter at .286. Nakamura .263, Sorelli .263, Morozic .261. As now we have a bit of a stoppage, and it looks like the trainer is going to go over and look at Josh Morozic's maybe foot or ankle.
Might have had some kind of awkward landing with Lopez. He did go and almost take out the ankles. You might have not seen how Lopez came down on Morozic himself. Thought he was fine for a bit, but that could be losing some major speed out there on the base path as he's trying to put some pressure on it.
The way things are looking, I don't know if Josh Morozic's going to stay in this game.
Now they have the skipper, Tyler LeBron, coming out there to check on his player as he looks like he's going to start walking towards the dugout.
Yeah.
They're going to have to put in some kind of pinch runner.
Yeah, he's done. I would expect Kyle Landers to come into the game, and that's exactly who's going to come into the game for the Miners. Yeah, unable to really see what happened down there. This is more likely precautionary than anything. Morozic off on his own power, thankfully, but not what you want to see is Morozic coming out of the game. So Kyle Landers will now take over at second base, presumably in the bottom of the first. He'll go run at second here.
And Landers is very adept on the defensive side as well, nearly just as much speed. Major knack on him right now is he doesn't seem to get on base nearly as much as Josh Morozic, but right now all they need for him is to be as quick as he can.
Casey Rother to the plate now. Landers on second, Wilson on first. Landers still has plenty of speed. First and second here, nobody away. Here is Rother, breaking ball, just low, ball 1. No scoreboard actually here at Mulcahy Stadium. Interesting. I know that there was some issues with it a couple weeks back, and apparently those haven't been resolved.
You can see those 3 metal beams standing out there past the Alaska USA sign, but
yeah, they left the infrastructure. As here's a fastball, misses low, and Zuko Tillman now falling behind the Miners' best hitter with runners on base 2-0.
Standing in the on-deck circle, you do have Kevin Nakamura continuing his stout as DH right now, as they're going to continue to go with Thompson behind the plate, but Nakamura is definitely the more adept hitter.
As there's a pitch inside, and Zuko Tillman is 1 pitch away from loading the bases with nobody out. Miners with a really prime opportunity here. Glacier Pilots come in today at 4-3, just behind the Miners' league-leading 4-2 record. Tillman sets here out of the stretch. Here it comes. Fastball right down the middle. Strike 1, Rother taking all the way.
And no reason he shouldn't take right there. You're that far ahead in the count. You can get a bad release from the pitcher, you automatically get yourself on base without having to do anything.
Setting here is Tillman. Checks the runner at second. Checks him again. Now he's at the set, and before the pitch, the umpire is going to call time. Blake Wink is holding the runner, Kyle Landers, on at second base. Infielder at the corner over at first. Ethan Mann, one step away from the infield turf. Here's the 3-1. Fastball swung on, hit into right center field, fairly shallow. Coming on is the right fielder, Escher. He'll make the catch, one away.
Smart job there, too, by Landers to not even try and tag up.
Probably not what Casey Rother wanted there in a 3-1 pitch. And that is a big timeout for Zuko Tillman, who was just one ball away from loading up the bases. It's going to be Kevin Nakamura to the plate now. Miners DH. He's actually dealing with some elbow tendonitis, according to manager Tyler LeBrun. So it could be a minute or two before we see Nakamura back behind the plate. Tillman sets here. Here's the first pitch, swung on and fouled back to the screen. 0-1 here on Kevin Nakamura. Nakamura on the season hitting .263. He's got 5 hits and 19 at bats. He's got a homer and 7 RBIs, which leads the ABL.
And those 7 RBIs are definitely what stands out to you with a runner in scoring position right now.
Looking for one here. Here it comes. Grounded to short. Lopez up with it. He'll flip to the second baseman, Wink, who turns it over. And that's a 6-4-3 double play to end things here in the first. Miners get a couple men on via errors, but can't take advantage of it. We'll head to the bottom of the first. 1, 2, 3. Wink, Tabak, McNamara due up for the Pilots. And we'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium on YouTube. Welcome back in here to Mulcahy Stadium as the Glacier Pilots will come to the plate here in the bottom of the first. Blake Wink coming to the plate first for the Glacier Pilots. Wink playing at second base. Tom Tabak batting second and left field, and then at third in the order, Michael McNamara. He's also at third base.
The Yorba Linda, California product. Plays at Fresno State, had a pretty solid slash line this last year, and a .280 average.
Lance Santerre doing the pitching for the Miners as he throws a fastball right by Wink for strike one. Yeah, Santerre, as we said in the pregame show, had a very good first 2 innings against Chudiak on the road on Sunday, but then got hit hard in the third and fourth and didn't make it out of the fourth. Here comes Santerre. Here's the pitch. Fastball off the plate, ball 1. Santerre's ERA after one start over 15.
A bit of misleading, honestly. Santerre might be one of the best pitchers on their lineup right now, and he's really just going to work at chipping that down.
As he misses away there with a fastball. Santerre left-hander. And a 2-1 count now. And Santerre from Delta College. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. He can really bring it back with that fastball. Similar to Christian Steelhorse, it's got a lot of giddy up on it late. 87 to 91 on the gun, 77 to 80 on the slider. His cutter's low 80s, his changeup's low 80s.
And that fastball has a bit of bite to it at the end. It almost pulls a little bit up, but that one's going to pull inside. Nearly hit him. Wink did a good job of just avoiding it.
Yeah, Wink gets away from that one, and it's 3-2 here on Blake Wink.
Good job by Tillman in the top of this inning to get out of that situation with 2 men on. Santerre trying to avoid any men on initially. He's still in a full count now.
He fouls that one back to the screen. Santerre, left-hander, standing at 6'2". Kyle Landers, who replaced Morozek on the bases in the top of the first, is playing at second. Here's the 3-2 pitch, grounded back up the middle. Landers ranging on a slide. He'll make the stop, throw to first. Not in time. Really nice play there by Kyle Landers, but just didn't have enough time. He ranged all the way back up the middle. Couldn't make the play, and there's a leadoff single for Blake Wink, and it's going to bring up Tom Tabak to the plate.
Nearly impossible for Santerre to react in time for something like that. Just shooting off the bat so low with a low angle. If he was able to get that, it would have been incredibly impressive, but Landers just couldn't deal with the speed of the leadoff Wink.
Tabak from New Mexico State, another Aggie on the squad, as there's a fastball on the outside edge for strike one. This year at New Mexico State, 342 average, 4 home runs, knocked in 26. A 6'2", 210-pound junior. Squares the bunt here, pulls back, and that fastball just missed off the plate. 1-1 here on Tabak. Miners playing for the double play up the middle. Bermudez shaded more towards the bag than Landers. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and stung into center field, but right at Ricky Nunez, barely having to move out there. One away as Nunez gets his first putout since coming back into the lineup from injury. One away.
Now McNamara coming up to bat. 11 at-bats this year so far and 3 hits to his name, but also 5 walks already. He just doesn't seem to strike out all that often.
Michael McNamara. As I said earlier, another Kent State guy. Sam Thompson, Evan Wolf, Josh Morozek, all Kent State guys on the minors. A little action in here. Santerre checking Wink over at first. Here's the first pitch. Fastball just missed up and in. 1-0 here on Michael McNamara. McNamara hailing from Cleveland, Ohio. So, local guy to Kent State. He's about an hour or so down the road. Here's the pitch as the runner takes off. Fastball, called strike, but there's no throw down to second base. Ton of speed over there for Blake Wink as he takes that base easily. Now it's 1-2.
And it takes a lot for Thompson to not believe he has a chance. He's demonstrated his arm strength before, thrown out plenty of runners so far in this young season, but that time Wink was just too blistering.
Santerre looking in for the sign. Checks the runner. Now we'll bring it in. Fastball stung. Diving grab by Jared Sweeney down at third. Jared Sweeney, although that bat hasn't quite come around yet, his defensive ability has been on the scene so far for the Miners. He made a really nice play on a ground ball, diving to his left last night. They're diving on the line drive to take away a hit from Michael McNamara.
And Sweeney, you move him out of that shortstop position, his defensive value to the squad automatically increased. Now that he seems a lot more comfortable on the corner.
Ethan Mann to the plate now. He absolutely raked for New Mexico State this spring. First baseman trying to drive in a run here. First pitch from Santerre is swung on, stung into left center field. That ball's deep. Wilson looking up, and that baby is out of here. We said in the pregame that the ball really travels here, and no bigger indication of that than that home run there from Ethan Mann. It's a 2-run home run off Lance Santerre, and it's 2-0 Glacier Pilots here in the first.
Miners were so close to being able to get out of this inning without any problem whatsoever, but That one just absolutely soared, and that left field wall, it almost seems a bit shorter than anything else we've dealt with so far this season. If you have any power hitters like Sorelli coming from the left side as well, that could be very interesting for them.
So Santerre now bases empty, still 2 away as the first pitch. Oh, where did that miss? 1-0 here on the 5-hitter Cole Escher. Little bubbles being blown from the dugouts. Here's a ground ball down to Sweeney on a couple of hops. It was a hot shot. Fields it cleanly, throw to first. Sorelli fields it in time, and that's the end of the inning. But the Glacier Pilots do get on the board from a Blake Wink leadoff single, and then comes home on a 2-out, 2-run home run from Ethan Nan. We'll head to the top of the second. Miners bringing to the plate Sorelli, Sweeney, Nunez. We'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium after a short break. Welcome back here into the top of the second, as it'll be Nick Sorelli, the St. John's product first baseman, stepping to the plate. Sorelli, on the year, is the only Miner with multiple home runs. Has a couple of them. 5 RBIs for Sorelli as well. He'll step in here and try to create something for the Miners here in the second, as he swings first pitch past the diving shortstop into left field. That's a first pitch single for Nick Sorelli, jumping all over that pitch from Zuko Tillman. And the Miners immediately with a threat on the base pass.
And ambush tactics really seem to be the name of the game right now. Works for man, and Sorelli thought he might as well try the same thing. Got himself on base immediately, and now he has the chance to really help his team again.
Jared Sweeney coming to the plate, as I said. And they bowed him the first inning. He's really struggled at the plate, but he got a walk-off walk last night against the Chinooks in Game 2 of the doubleheader to help the Miners sweep. Maybe that can get him going now as he sits 0-1 here against Tillman.
Not the most explosive way to win a game, but it works either way. Only 2 hits so far on the season.
This pitch is popped up deep down the right field line, but that's out of play. Sweeney quickly behind 0-2 now in the count.
Definitely doesn't seem like he's going to be looking at another one of those 3 walks he's had so far this year. But if he could get solid contact, or at least get the timing down on Tillman, I believe Sweeney has plenty of power. He could also start contributing deep shots today.
0-2 pitch coming, breaking ball fouled off. Sweeney batting from the right side against the left-hander Tillman. On deck for the Miners would be the 7-hitter Ricky Nunez. Another right-handed bat. A lot of right-handed bats in the lineup for the Miners every day, and that plays well here at Mulcahy Stadium with the balls just flying out of here in left field. Tillman sets the 0-2. Fastball off the plate. He missed with it. 1-2 now on Jared Sweeney. Sorelli over at first doesn't pose much of a threat to steal a bag.
No, but he's watching for that wild pitch. That one was a bit outside, and he was very attentive, ready to go should that one get past.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Came with a fastball on the outside edge. Jared Sweeney set back to the dugout packing. That's the first strikeout of the game for Zuko Tillman. It's going to bring up the center fielder Nunez to the plate. Nunez, the second leading hitter on this team in batting average, batting .286 on the year.
And Nunez seems to hit in bunches when he gets going. Got 2 in the previous game he played before missing the previous 2 for injury. This one shot right up the middle.
Back up the middle. Fielded by the shortstop Lopez. Throw to first on the relay in time from Wink. What a double play there by the Glacier Pilots. Ball moves fast on the turf, so if you can get it, you can really turn a double play.
2 innings, 2 double plays so far for the Glacier Pilots.
Miners bounce into their second double play of the game, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. Miners trying to hold the Glacier Pilots off the board for the first time tonight, and we'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium in just a bit. Welcome back into Mulcahy Stadium. To start the bottom of the second inning. For the Pilots is going to be Grant Weiss to the plate.
Weiss has definitely been one of their bigger struggles so far at the plate this season. 6 at-bats so far on his name and 0 hits as well. 1 of 2 that hasn't had a hit right now for this team.
Weiss, another player in the ABL hailing from Loyola Marymount. As Santerre back out for a second inning work. Breaking ball off the plate. Ball 1. Santerre getting 6, 7, 8 in the order. It's going to be Weiss, then Terrence Seguida, and then Fausto Lopez. See Wines here from the left side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball.
For Kevin Nakamura, going around seeing all these Loyola Marymount, he's probably going to meet his entire team before he even transfers over.
Yeah, hopefully he gets back out onto the diamond soon and not just in the DH role, obviously, with that tendinitis. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, threw it right by him, 1-2. Santerre's got a lot of swings and misses on the fastball. He can really mix it up. He has a variety of off-speed pitches that helps him get ahead. So now 1-2 here on Grant Weiss.
2 fastballs telling me I'm more than likely to see an off-speed pitch here.
Here's the 1-2. He did see a breaking ball, but just chipping it, getting a piece of it was Weiss. He'll stay alive. 1-2.
Santerre could really go for his first major swinging strikeout right now. After giving up a home run, it can definitely shake your confidence, especially with how his first performance went, but he is definitely capable of knocking batters down.
Santerre will do it again here on 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. Pitch was a bit off the plate, actually, but Santerre generating that swing and a miss. And down goes Grant Weiss. We'll bring up Terrence Seguida now. The leading hitter in the ABL, the Anchorage native. Seguida, a left-handed batter facing the left-handed Santerre. Way open stance for Seguida. Here's the first pitch. Fastball, strike 1. Seguida stands in at 5'8", 250 pounds. Goes to Vermilion Community College. Here's the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball way out in front of that. Looked like a slider there from Santerre. 0-2 now.
Doesn't have the most imposing height, but with all of that power behind him, Reminds us, like we said, of Astadio on the Twins. When he makes contact, you're going to hear it.
There's a fastball off the plate, 1-2. Seguida, a freshman this spring at Vermillion Community College. Here's the 1-2 off the plate, like maybe a slider there, 2-2.
Maybe a bit too much bite to that slider. Try to get him fishing, but it's a lot easier to see it when you see the catcher having to make an extension himself.
Infielders are playing slightly back. I mean, this turf, when a ground ball gets moving on it, it gets to them quickly. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on, popped up into short left field. Wilson barely moving out there. He'll make the catch. Seguida retired, and now it'll bring up the 8-hitter, Fausto Lopez. Lopez, hailing from Middle Tennessee State. He's from Brooklyn in New York.
Very close to our general manager here, too.
Yeah, Pete Christopher, shout out him. On the year, Lopez is actually hitting below the Mendoza line. Here's the pitch. It's swung on, popped up behind the plate. Thompson running after it, and he's not going to get to it. Hits the press box where we are, maybe 20, 25 feet to the right. It's 0-1 here on Fausto Lopez.
You or I might have had a better chance of getting that one if we could have run out in time. We do our association with the minors. Maybe they would have counted that just for them.
Yeah, this glass up here, I'm not going to say it's the most trustable glass in the world to prevent a window from breaking. Santana now ahead here on Lopez, 0-1. Here it comes. Fastball. Oh, where did that miss? A tight strike zone tonight from the home plate umpire, and Santana's got to be thinking, where did I miss on that one? So 1-1 now here on Fausto Lopez. Here's the pitch. Look like a cutter. Upstairs, ball 2. Yeah, that 0-1 pitch looked as good as it can get.
And now when you're going to get a lot more conscious of where you're aiming, if you think that's not good, what do I have to do to impress you? Almost that teacup-sized strike zone facing today.
2-1 here on Lopez. Fastball way up and away, 3-1. So Lopez, a ball away from reaching first base. It would send it to the 9-hitter in the order for the Glacier Pilots, Devin Ornelius. Here's the 3-1. Fastball, swing and a miss. Looked like Lopez was actually a bit out in front of that. Wasn't behind it. Now it's full.
No, Lopez made up his mind before that pitch was even delivered that he was swinging now that he was ahead in the count.
The Middle Tennessee State Blue Raider. Here's the 3-2 from Santana. Swung on line, back up the middle, base hit. Fausto Lopez with a good piece of hitting on 3-2, lining it past the shortstop, David Bermudez. And the Pilots have a runner on here with 2 away.
And compared to our doubleheaders with a shutout for both innings or both games for the Miners, this is definitely a lot more offensive action for our viewers here today. But
Devin Ornelius to the plate now.
Ornelas only batting a 1.18 paltry average so far in the season.
2 for 17 on the year as checking over at first on Lopez as Santana back in safely. And 2 for 17 for Ornelius. He does have an RBI though. He's walked once, struck out 5 times. Played in 4 out of the 7 games for the Pilots as there's a fastball missed up. 1-0. Mulcahy Stadium. The outfield fence is short and the home runs are long. Left-handed batter Ornelius, the center fielder in. On deck would be Blake Wink, top of the order. 1-0 as he checks over the runner and almost caught him napping. With a better pickoff throw to first by Santana, Lopez probably would have been out. The throw was not offline, but made Sorelli kind of catch it near his eye level and was unable to get it on time and onto Lopez's leg.
Santana being a southpaw definitely gives him more of an advantage to pickoffs near first. Part of his natural pitching motion, honestly.
The 1-0 is a fastball down the middle, strike 1. Santana trying to get through the second without giving up any runs. He would face the top of the order in the third if he was able to do that.
And Wink's already been on, so you know he's seeing Santana fairly well.
Another pickoff over to first, and another close play at first. Lopez has had some late reactions over there. Santerre keeping him close over there, and it's still 1-1 as we'll redo it. Left-handed batting Cornelius. That's the left-handed throwing. Lance Santerre. Santerre at the set. Checks over again, and safe. Oh, that was a close play. Lopez didn't slide there, and it was an even closer play. I mean, a ton of pickoff throws by Lance Santerre this at bat. It's still 1-1 on Cornelius.
And Sorelli's getting to know him fairly well at this point.
There's a check swing. Peeled down to the umpire at second base. He did not go around. 2-1. Santerre not getting the strikes that Christian Seelhorst and Wyatt Tucker got last night. This is a minuscule strike zone.
Playing in enemy territory, to say the least.
2-1 here. Breaking ball, strike 2, hit the outside edge. That's a good pitch from Santerre. So he got that over, and he's even the count up now. 2-2.
Gonna be looking for another put away here. Already got a strikeout in this inning.
And make it 2 of them. Santerre catches the 9-hitter in the order. Cornelius looking, and that'll end things here in the second. Glacier Pilots do get a 2-out single, but cannot bring him around. Santerre with a couple of punch-outs in that inning. We'll head to the top of the third. Miners trail 2-0, looking for some offense. We'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium after a short break. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium. As to start off the third inning for the Miners, they're going to send Sam Thompson, the catcher, to the plate. Thompson coming up, the right-handed batter.
Did get a hit in one of their 2 games, part of that doubleheader as well. One of only 2 hits so far on the season for Thompson, boasting only a 105 average.
First pitch here, squares the bunt, pulls back on a fastball, strike 1. The infield was way back there, so it wasn't a terrible idea. Thompson may be a catcher, but he's fairly athletic, and he can move down the line. 0-1 now on Thompson. Zuko Tillman at the set. Here it comes. Fastball, and it's skipped in front of the plate on about 56 feet, ball 1. Tillman back out for his third inning of work. No activity in either bullpen yet to start this one. Thompson, right-hander against the left-handed Tillman. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, called strike on the outside edge, 1-2. Thompson in a bit of a hole now. Trying to dig himself out here. Thompson, the 8-hitter in the box. Bermudez is next. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. 1 away as Sam Thompson goes down on strikes. David Bermudez, who is still searching for his first Miners hit, will come to the plate.
He was at least consistent, I'll say that, in the last game. 3 straight flyouts to center field. At least you know he's seeing the ball well enough to make contact, just hoping he can spray the field a bit better.
Bermudez with an 0-for-9 start to his Miners career as he shoots that one foul back out of play. 0-1 on Bermudez. He topped the order next, but it won't be Josh Morozek. It'll be Kyle Landers who took over for Morozek after he was injured on the bases in the first inning. Bermudez, 0-1 count, fastball way off the plate, 1-1 on David Bermudez from Rider University.
And going to be tough for any team to really replace Mrozic, but this is going to be a good chance for Landers now in the on-deck circle to work on his own batting.
Bermudez 5'8", 195 as there's a breaking ball off the plate. 2-1. Bermudez, Rider University from New Brunswick, New Jersey. He increased his slugging this year, actually, as there's a jumping grab out at shortstop. The shortstop Lopez, Fausto Lopez, nice play, 2 away. Bermudez, though, increases slugging from 2019 and 2020, which is a combined 296, to 408 in 2021. We have Kyle Landers now with 2 away. Bermudez, just unlucky there, hard liner right at the shortstop.
Fausto Lopez only stands at 5'8", but if he was an inch or two shorter, that might have been a non-grab.
There's a breaking ball outside edge, strike 1 to Kyle Landers. Landers' first at bat today, as we said earlier, took over on the bases for Josh Mrozic in the first inning. Landers a 2 away here in the third. Here's the pitch. Belt high, maybe a bit more actually. It's going to be a called strike. So 0-2 quickly now on Kyle Landers, who didn't like that call.
And it didn't seem like a lot of the Miners faithful did either. You could hear the groans coming from the crowd right underneath us.
0-2 pitch is shot back near the Miners dugout.
He needs to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, that was smoked. Plenty of Miners faithful on hand, making the trip down from the Matsu Valley in Palmer, about 45 minutes north of here. 0-2 still on Kyle Landers. Tillman for the line, here it comes. Breaking ball, shot back to the screen, another foul ball. So Landers sticking around to watch a few extra pitches, at least here. Anchorage, like Chugiak, doesn't do too much shading. The Miners actually, out of all teams in the ABL that we've seen every single one of them now, probably shade the most. Tillman now at the line, here it comes on 0-2. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Looked like maybe a slider there from Zuko Tillman. 1-2-3, top of the third for Zuko Tillman and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Miners back out in the field. Lance Santerre on for his third inning of work. We'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium in just a bit. Welcome back to Mulcahy Stadium, as now here to lead off the bottom of the third. It's top of the order. Blake Wink due up. Wink got that infield single on a hard hit ball back up the middle in the first.
And was able to eventually come around too on that one after being brought home by Ethan Mann on that 2-run shot. Goes to square up there, but that one's going to be a strike.
Yeah, he went around on that, so Santerre, I had now 0-1. Santerre's been ahead of a lot of the hitters, contrary to really what happened in his last start against Chugiak. He winds here, here's the 0-1, breaking ball missed. Maybe a cutter, actually, 1-1. Santerre operating from pretty much the middle of that mound, doesn't work on the first or third base side. Santerre winds now, here's the 1-1, fastball off the plate, 2-1. Miners playing. The leadoff hitter, Blake Wink, straight up. Wink's got a ton of speed. Actually kind of surprised that maybe Jared Sweeney over at third isn't playing more in.
Definitely demonstrated that as well with that first stolen base. Not even Thompson was willing to challenge him.
2-1 pitch is shot back out of play. So counts even now on Blake Wink.
And the ability to knock down a hitter that was able to get a hit off of you in the first inning will be a huge bounce back for Santerre. Trying to get back through this inning, keep his team tight, and not give them any more room to make up.
Santerre winds here. Here it comes on 2-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. Lance Santerre punches him out, give him 3 of them on the game now, and that will bring up Tom Toback to the plate.
Seems like Santerre has arrived, everyone. He hasn't allowed any walks in this game so far, getting back-to-back strikeouts there as he ended the second and began the third, the same way he ended the last one.
He's got legit stuff. Tom Toback flew out sharply to the center fielder Ricky Nunez in the first. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch here is popped up into foul ground. Thompson long run going for it, and it's just out of play. Actually landed in the Miners dugout. Thompson about 5 feet away from it. So Toback will stay in, 0-1 now. Thompson, really athletic dude. On foul balls, he can really get up out of his crouch and sprint.
And that time it's going to be pitching coach J.R. Dwyer that had the best shot at it, as he seemed to try and hide under the roof at least before that one came meteoring in.
So 0-1 here on Tom Toback. He steps back into the box, slightly open stance. Here it comes on 0-1. Fastball swung on, ripped down the right field line. That's going to land fair. Rother, a long run for it. He's up with it now. Relay coming in. Rounding second, going to third is Toback. He's going to get in there standing up. Or rather, he slides in there. Was in there pretty easily. And there is a one-out barrel double down the right field line for Tom Toback.
And gave the crowd a little bit of something to celebrate, too, with giving his own surfer impression as soon as he got up on the third baseline. There was no chance to really hit him out there. Rother's got a strong arm, but not that strong.
Not really sure why he slid either. I mean, there was no threat of him even getting thrown out at third. Slid anyway for the effects. And now just one out. There's a runner on third. It's Michael McNamara to the plate. Miners really need an out here. So McNamara up. Looking to at least get that runner home from third. Productive out possibly. Miners' infield defense is about normal still, even with the runner on third. Santerre at the set. First pitch, fastball, up and away, ball 1. And it doesn't get any easier on deck. Ethan Mann with that 2-run home run in the first inning looming in the on-deck circle. Santerre looking in. He's got his sign from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Fastball stung into straightaway center field. Nunez circling under it, pretty much right at him. He's camped out under it. He's got it. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's a long one. It's going to be offline, and the Pilots get their 3rd run of the game. 3-0 Glacier Pilots on a sac fly there from Michael McNamara. And now the bases will be empty here for Ethan Mann with 2 away.
Mann doesn't really need anyone in front of him to score, as he demonstrated with that last at-bat. Just took it all the way over the fence on the first pitch. He could send himself home if he really wanted to.
So 3-0 Glacier Pilots. As the Miners really haven't given up many runs on this winning streak, and this is an unfamiliar position on this 4-game winning streak. As here's the first pitch inside to Mann, 1-0.
Guess you can't hit a home run on that one when you're going to get jammed if you even try. That one's going to be ball 1 for sure.
The 1-0 coming. Here it is. Fastball swung on, hit it to right field. Rother started to come in and then just decided to plant pretty much right at him. Casey Rother up with it, and that'll retire Ethan Mann. We'll head to the top of the 4th. Pilots get a run here in the 3rd on a triple and a sac fly. We'll be back here in the top of the 4th. The Miners coming to the plate. Welcome back in here to Mulcahy Stadium as we start at the top of the fourth. 2:34 due up for the Miners. Tyler Wilson, switch hitter batting for the right side. First to the plate is he swings on the first pitch here, sent into center field, but Ornelius taking a couple of long steps back. One pitch went out on a sharp lineup from Tyler Wilson. So one way it's going to be Casey Rother to the plate. Rother flew out to shallow right in his first at bat. Trying to find a hole in the defense here. Miners looking for runs still, down 3-0. Here's the line and the first pitch from the left-handed pitcher, Tillman, strike one. Tillman has it now 1-1. Casey Rother back in. Here it comes. In the dirt. Good take there by Rother. Keen eye. 1-1. For the Miners, tomorrow they will be off. Games Monday and Tuesday against the Chinooks and the Oilers. Here's the 1-1 breaking ball, missed, 2-1.
And Tillman's really turned it around. That first inning with those 2 errors and the near walk on Rother in the first place, he's really locked back into the zone.
Here's the 2-1 fastball grounded softly back up the middle to the second baseman. Wink, he'll throw out Rother just in time. Rother out by a couple of steps. 2 outs now for Zuko Tillman, who has really settled down after that first inning with a couple of errors. His numbers, although they weren't good this spring, to be polite, his ERA was almost 10 this spring. His first start didn't go very well here for the Pilots, but today he's looked really good.
If that's your way of being polite, I don't want to really hear you be rude. But you're right, he's looking very comfortable out on the mound, and now no one behind him again.
As he gets ahead of Nakamura. Kevin Nakamura to the plate. Yeah, Tillman's really been able to get ahead of hitters. That's been his thing as he's worked here with good 2, 3, and 4 innings. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss from Nakamura.
Nakamura really just got a bit ahead of that one, it looked like.
Nakamura back in. Down 0-2. Here's the pitch from Tillman. In the dirt, skips away from the catcher. 1-2 as Weiss couldn't glove that.
Now he's got a big hole to dig himself out of here, but if there's one hitter I trust with 2 strikes on the count, it's going to be Kevin Nakamura.
Here's the pitch to him. Breaking ball just off the plate. Pilots infield certainly thought that was a called strike 3 as they took a couple steps to the dugout collectively. Instead, still 2-2 as here it comes to Nakamura. Swung on, hit into right field. Coming near the line is Escher. He camps under it. He'll make the play. So the Miners go down quietly. 1-2-3 here in the top of the fourth. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Pilots coming back to the plate here from Mulcahy Stadium. Welcome back here from Mulcahy Stadium as we are ready to begin the bottom of the fourth. It'll be the 5-hitter who actually just recorded the last out of the top of the inning, Cole Escher to the plate. Escher grounded to Sweeney to end the first. He'll bat here as the Pilots look for more runs here in the bottom of the fourth against Lance Santerre. First pitch from fastball, line deep left field, headed back Wilson to the track, to the wall, and it is fair ball off the wall, ricocheting away from Wilson, around second, now around third, he's coming home, Bermudez' throw to the plate is not in time!
An inside the park home run off of some confusion from Wilson, and Thompson not able to get a decent pass from Bermudez, couldn't glove it, and you don't see that every day.
Yeah, Santerre cannot be happy right now. I can't believe that stayed in the yard to begin with. Wilson probably thought it was gone too. It took a ricochet literally off the corner of the fence, ricocheted back into left center. The throw from Bermudez actually beat the runner, Cole Escher, to the plate, but the throw was unable to be picked out by Thompson.
And you're going to see Grant Weiss come up to the plate. Hard to follow a performance like that for the Glacier Pilots, but he's still going to have nothing in front of him, no outs, and no problem to deal with as he takes a 4-0 lead now.
As now J.R. Dwyer is going to emerge from the Miners dugout and go talk to Santerre. And that was more unlucky than a home run for the 5-hitter, Cole Escher.
The series of unfortunate events is the best way to describe it. It was maybe only a foot over from that foul pole line, and Wilson, thinking it might have gone foul initially, let it get away from him until he saw the third base line judge give him the sign.
That ball was smoked off the bat by Escher. I'm still shocked that stayed in the yard. I thought that was for sure gone, as now the Miners have a bit of movement in the pen. Nobody's throwing yet, but some guys walking around getting loose. Looks like Evan Wolf, one of them, down at the pen.
Giving the Kent State product a chance to play against his former teammates, too.
Grant Weiss to the plate now, the 6-hitter for the Pilots. 4-0 Pilots if you're just joining us. Here in the fourth, nobody out. A leadoff inside the park home run by Cole Escher. Grant Weiss in, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. 0-1. Santerre ahead of another hitter. Trying to work cleanly, at least through the rest of the fourth.
Hasn't really struggled to get into good counts, just when they make contact, they really seem to make some noise.
As there's a fastball right by Weiss, 0-2. Yeah, they've had really just 3 big hits today. It was that 2-run home run in the first, a ringing double to right or ringing triple to right in the third down the line as that fastball misses away, 1-2. And then that inside the park home run hit off the left field corner down the line. Santerre trying to put away Grant Weiss here. Lines, here it comes. Missed way in. Actually, it got a bit of Weiss, and it's going to be a hit by a pitch.
Didn't really seem to be much of a ricochet. Thompson even was able to glove that behind him. It seemed like it might have gone behind him more than anything.
Terrence Seguida now coming to the plate. 1 on, nobody out. Miners' pen really starting to move. It's Evan Wolf throwing. So Seguida to the plate now. First pitch to him. Fastball popped into foul ground. Sweeney, long run, and just couldn't get it. Diving into the third base coach's box as the third base coach for the Pilots moved out of the way.
There's no question whether or not Sweeney's going to give you effort. As we've seen with that line grab, and now that one, just a few, maybe a foot short. If he had a bit more time on that hang time, he would have put Seguida away there quickly.
Instead, it's just an 0-1 count to Seguida. Got that big open stance. Checks the runner Weiss. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball, strike 2. Santerre way ahead again, 0-2. Looking for a strikeout, maybe a ground ball. He's at the set here. 0-2 coming to Seguida. Before that, he'll check over to first, back in safely as Weiss. Due up next is Fausto Lopez, the shortstop for the Glacier Pilots. 0-2 pitch on the way. Just missed. Oh, man.
That's another one of those pitches that could go either way, and honestly, it looks like it should have been a strike.
Like maybe a change up there. Bit inside. 1-2 pitch. Santerre to the plate. Fastball fouled away. And staying alive to see at least one more is Seguida. Seguida is a strikeout victim earlier in the game.
And no real surprise with that. Being a DH, he comes up with one purpose, and that's to hit the ball hard.
Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good block by Thompson. Keeping it there. It's going to be 2-2 on Terrence Seguida.
And even up the count now. Santerre needs to make sure he doesn't lose too much control as he tries to get a put-away pitch. Can't put too many things outside the black, especially with this small of a strike zone.
2-2 pitch. Fastball. Line shallow left field. Wilson coming on. What a catch by Tyler Wilson. Coming on into short left field on the line to make the grab. Scampering back to first is Grant Weiss. But how about Tyler Wilson? As now there's one out here in the fourth.
We talked about his speed, and that's something that was on display. I guarantee you, if they still had to play out of position, Mike Ferreira out in left field, we might have not gotten that out, but Wilson really demonstrating some nice wheels there.
Yeah, Ferreira still sick. He is hoped to be had back by possibly Monday. Here's the first pitch to Fausto Lopez. Fastball on the hands. Foul back to the screen, 0-1.
Lopez fell behind in that earlier count, the first at-bat, and just got that drilled shot right up the middle.
Ferreira came down with an illness of some sort, the same one that skipper Tyler LeBrun had. He was the only minor really to contract the illness. So hopefully he'll be all right. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball off the plate, 1-1. Miners playing for the double play. Lopez struck out in the second. Santerre at the set against the right-handed Lopez. Here's the 1-1. Fastball foul to the screen again. So 1-2. Santerre ahead of another hitter. He's been ahead of hitters really all night. Just got some unfortunate breaks and some really hard hit balls by the Pilots. So 1-2 now, one away here in the fourth. Miners trail 4-0. Santerre sets, here it comes. Breaking ball fouled over the first base dugout for the Pilots. Staying alive is Fausto Lopez.
All he needs is one solid pitch. He has one of those real speedy takeoffs. As soon as he makes solid contact, it's going to be hard to get him out if you can't make a great ground play.
Santerre now at the set. 1-2 on the way again. Fastball check swing. He went around. And there's another strikeout from Lance Santerre. 2 away now here in the bottom of the fourth. It's going to bring up the 9-hitter, Devin Ornelas, to the plate.
Ornelas couldn't really generate too much in his first at-bat. But this time, hoping to really help the man that's only 90 feet in front of him to his right.
Here's the first pitch lined into left center field. Nunez on the run. Long run. He'll get to it. Ricky Nunez reading that ball off the bat. Nunez hit it hard, but Nunez able to track it down. Well, head to the top of the fifth. The Glacier Pilots get a run on an inside the park home run to start the inning by Cole Escher. Head to the top of the fifth. Miners trail 4-0, looking for some offense. We'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium on YouTube. welcome back here to the top of the 5th inning. Nick Sorelli to lead it off for the Miners at the plate. Matsu just looking for some kind of spark. They have unable to hit Zuko Tillman through 4.
They've really just been floundering at the plate ever since those first 2 innings. Sorelli got a single in his first time, ripping it right between the shortstop and third baseman, but hasn't really been able to do much since. Neither is his teammates.
Fastball here, fouled off the foot of Sorelli. A little gimpy after that, 1-1. Sorelli had that base hit in the 2nd inning, but really just nothing since then for the Miners. Zuko Tillman has worked behind batters, or in front of batters rather, all night. He's been able to get deep behind the batters in counts.
And there's no real reason to believe he shouldn't be able to keep going further into this game the way he's been going right now.
Sorelli back in, 1-1. Fastball line back up the middle, and sliding stop by the shortstop. Lopez thrown at first in time. Oh, baby. Fausto Lopez has made a number of really nice plays today, and that's another one. We said how quick the ball moves on the turf. That time playing almost to the advantage of Lopez as he was able to make it there in time. And the ball was hit so hard, Sorelli wasn't that far down the line. So a web gem play by Fausto Lopez here to start the 5th. And now it's going to be Jared Sweeney. Sweeney struck out in the 2nd. Here's the first pitch to him. Fastball just missed. Ball 1.
Lopez almost looked very similar, almost just a reflected version of what Landers did before. Just maybe a bit more used to his home turf.
Here's a breaking ball off the plate, so a rarity now. Since the first inning, at least, Zuko Tillman falling behind a hitter. Stands here at 2-0. Sweeney back in. Fastball line. Pretty well center field. Going back into center fielder Arnelius. He's not going to get it. Sweeney around first. Heading into 2nd. He's going to take a turnaround 2nd. He'll hold there. And finally, a bit of a spark for the Miners. A 1-out double for Jared Sweeney. That'll help him break off the schneid and a cold streak at the plate. And now it's going to bring to the plate for the Miners the 7-hitter in the form of Ricky Nunez.
And that could be huge, helping them get out of a slump with him and the whole team. And Ricky's one person that really seems to feed off of energy more than any other batter in this lineup, I'd say. When he feels a lot of confidence at the plate, it's almost a guarantee he's going to get at least a single, but he has a lot of power behind that bat.
Nunez trying to find his first hit of the game. Miners got a runner on 2nd here, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled way back out of play. Strike 1. Still no activity for the Pilots. Zuko Tillman appears it is his game, at least for the time being. Miners still with action in their pen. Still Evan Wolf throwing. He's the only one throwing. You got to think he might be on for the 5th. 0-1 here on Nunez. Here it is. Fastball shot way back out of play again. Nunez in the deep hole now, 0-2. Sam Thompson is in the on-deck circle. And if they could get it to him, it would be the 9-hitter for the Miners in the order, David Bermudez.
Right now, Ricky just needs to make sure he sees in front of him. Seemed a bit late on that last one.
There's a breaking ball off the plate, ball 1.
This team's full of hitters. They do have that green light like we've said before, so regardless of the count, don't be surprised if you see them taking a swing at a ball that they like.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball line on a hot 2nd baseman, knocked it down, man. He's thrown at first base, is in time! Oh my goodness! Swinging to 3rd, Nunez out by maybe a slight sliver of the foot. Man did an excellent job off the ricochet to throw that baby to 1st in time on a bang-bang play at the back.
Wink just barely able to recollect himself there. Almost looked like he was rarely seeing first base on that throw, just throwing a complete 180.
Ball was smoked on a short hop to the 2nd baseman. Knocked it down as Sam Thompson takes ball 1. That's a huge play for the Pilots because if not for that, it'd be 1st and 3rd, just 1 out. Now runner on 3rd and 2 away. Thompson in a 1-0 count. Here it comes. Fastball lined hard way back out of play. Smoke that over the stands down the right field line. Thompson sitting at a 1-1 count. Miners trying to at least get 1 here. Jared Sweeney alone in the inning. A ringing double to center. Here's the 1-1. breaking ball. It just missed low. So Thompson slightly ahead now, 2-1.
And Weiss really almost looking to see what the call was going to be. That was fairly low from what we could see, but
Here's the 2-1. It's a fastball inside edge, strike 2. Thompson really did not like that one. So count even now on Sam Thompson. Miners down to their last strike here in the 5th.
extremely tough to really get any real extension on inside pitches like that either.
There's a fastball grounded a wink on a couple of hops a second. He's up with it. Throw to first in time. Miners held off the board again. 5 perfect innings. At least for the run department for Zuko Tillman. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Miners may have a new pitcher coming on in Evan Wolf. And we'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium in just a bit. Aaron Winkler on now here as we start the 5th. I was thinking it was Evan Wolf, but it's Winkler coming on from Rutgers University. Been waiting to pitch for a number of days. Warmed up, just not any action allowed. Here's the tapper back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Bermudez, throwing to first just in time. Nice play. Bermudez throwing out the speedy Blake Wink. 1 pitch, 1 out for Winkler.
Winkler's only had the chance to pitch 1 real inning so far this year, coming in their first game on that loss. 2 hits and 3 runs, but only 1 real earned run. That's the game that they saw a number of errors, especially out of their shortstop spot. But did have 2 strikeouts in that inning as well, so when he's really feeling his stuff, it's tough to really get a hit off of him.
Tom Tabak now in as the second hitter of the 5th against Winkler as he shoots that 1 foul. Back trying to find a gap. He was the one who hit that ringing triple to right down the line. As he's going to tap one to the right side. Nice play by Landers, but he can't hold it on the glove. That's going to likely go down as an error on Kyle Landers, as reaching first base safely is Tabak. And 1 on, 1 out from the Pilots. More threats on the bases. Michael McNamara with that sac fly to center. Last time to score Tabak to the plate.
And Landers would be the first one to own up to that one. You could see him showing towards Winkler. That one's on me. It's fine. We'll get back at him here. They still have a chance at a double play.
Yeah, he was moving far to his left, had in his glove, but rolled out of the mitt would have probably had enough time to throw out the runner to back. Here's the first pitch from Winkler, and he's going to hit McNamara. Hit him with the breaking ball inside. Another hit by pitch for the Pilots, and all of a sudden it's 2 on and 1 out for Ethan Mann. Mann hit that 2-run home run earlier. Flew out to right in his second at-bat.
Probably the most dangerous batter they can bring up to the plate right now, especially with only 1 out in the inning. He has the chance to make this even bigger gap. The New Mexico State player out of McKinney, Texas, already really having a solid game. 2 RBIs to his name.
He's in here with a couple runners on and 1 out. More trouble for the Miners. Here's the first pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Took a huge cut on that one. Winkler threw it by him. 0-1. Runner at second base is Tabak. Over at first base is McNamara. Winkler trying to get a ground ball, strikeout. Honestly, just an out would probably be the preference here against a big hitter in Ethan Mann. Winkler a long hold on the mound. Runner takes off for third. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike 1. Throw's going to go down to second base, and it's in time. He'll get the runner at second. Runner took off for third. McNamara on the backside took off for second. Thompson did not throw down to third.
Would have been the shorter throw for sure, but Tebek had such a nice lead on that it seemed like he was going to get there in time. He went with a smarter throw and got McNamara out. Now 2 gone and 2 strikes in this count. A chance to get out of this without any damage.
Tabak was really inching off second base. McNamara with not as big of a lead. Thompson hoses out the runner at second, so now 2 away for Ethan Mann. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1-2. That last pitch on the star when the runners was doing was actually a ball. My apologies. So 1-2 here on Ethan Mann, McKinney, Texas. 11 home runs this spring for New Mexico State. Runner on third, 2 away. 1-2 pitch from Winkler. On the way. Fastball grounded to third on a couple of hops. Sweeney up with it. Long throw across the diamond in time. And a good job by Aaron Winkler to navigate around a lot of damage. Pilots get a couple runners on, but can't bring them around. We will head to the 6th inning. Top of the 6th. Miners coming to the plate, and we'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium. Welcome back here as we start at the top of the 6th at Mulcahy Stadium. There's a new pitcher on for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. It's Jimmy Glacier, another Loyola Marymount guy. Glacier standing in there, obviously from Loyola Marymount. Played his high school ball in Hawthorne, California. 6.70 ERA in nearly 50 innings this spring for Loyola Marymount. And he's on now in relief.
And in that time, he was really punching out some batters. 34 strikeouts. Might not be the average of about 1 per inning that a lot of elite pitchers like to see, but that 6.7 ERA is nothing to scoff at. It's fairly respectable, and especially after the day that Zuko Tillman's had, can't really ask too much more of him here, handing over a very easy game for him.
Stepping into the box for the Miners is David Bermudez as he watches a breaking ball in the dirt for ball one. Glacier standing at 6'3", 200 pounds even.
A high kick, too, on that windup.
Very high leg kick. Bermudez, then the top of the order. Landers on deck. Here comes Galicia. Fastball grounded to short. Up with it is Lopez. He'll make the throw to first, and it's in time by just a step to get David Bermudez. One away here in the sixth.
Bermudez showing off some of his own speed there, too.
Yeah. Bermudez still looking for his first Miners hit. Landers from New Mexico. Looking to be the first Miner on here in the sixth. Miners trail 4-0. Galicia, high leg kick. Here it comes. Fastball shot back out of play. 0-1 here on Kyle Landers.
One time Landers has been on base so far today is when he had to be pinched in for an injured Morozic. You wonder how different this game might have looked should he still be in the game with his ability to get on the base nearly every time coming to the plate.
Yeah, Miners had such a nice strike going in the first. 2 on, no out, couldn't bring anyone around. Here's a pitch in the dirt from Galicia, 1-1. Coming into the game, Landers was really struggling with the bat. Just 2 for 17. 118 average. Played in 5 games. Now 6 for the Miners. Miners sit at 4-2. Pilots at 4-3. Comes the 1-1 in the dirt again, 2-1. And although the Miners do trail 4-0, remember against Anchorage on, I believe that was Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Against the Bucks at home. They were down 7-1 in the 8th with a new relief pitcher coming on, and Miners were able to really hit him hard. Here's the pitch, fastball off the plate, 3-1.
All it takes is one solid inning. That's how it goes in this sport almost all the time. But right now, they need a sign of life in general. That run got started because they started to string together hits. Right now, they just need to get a single one going.
Galicia, fastball popped up into foul ground. Moving over into foul ground is the third baseman, and he won't be able to get it. McNamara ran all the way over the fence. Couldn't get it, and it's full now on Kyle Landers.
And that ball's going to find a new home right on top of the roof of what looks like the Bucks clubhouse over near left field.
Bucks and the Glacier Pilots, 2 Anchorage teams, sharing a stadium here at Mulcahy. 3-2 pitch from Galicia. On the way. Fastball fouled back to the screen. So Landers sticking around. Pesky hitter. Certainly fouls his fair amount of pitches off. And it is 3-2 still on Landers.
And for anyone that was worried about the safety of me and Reese now in this booth, we did just get a solid confirmation that these windows can take a pretty solid shot, hitting the one only 2 doors down from us.
Yeah, these things are hard to deal with as there's a screaming shot foul up the first baseline by Landers, continuing to stick around. These windows, I don't exactly feel the most safe behind them. There's one coming through.
You just got plenty of confirmation.
Duck and cover. That's all you really can do. 3-2 on Kyle Landers. Galicia shaking off a couple of signs. Here it comes. Fastball called strike 3. That looked really inside. And you can't fault Landers for being upset at that call.
Already a small strike zone so far for Magners pitchers. Can't be too upset if it stays consistent. That one doesn't look like it was too consistent from our end up here.
Tyler Wilson to the plate now, batting from the left side now against the right-hander Galicia. Yeah, that one looked inside. Landers certainly thought so. Regardless, it's out number 2. Here's the first pitch to Wilson. It's a breaking ball, ball 1. 2 away here in the 6th. Miners still without a run in this ball game. Galicia looking to go 1-2-3 here. High leg kick. Here it comes. Fastball off the plate, 2-0.
This reminds you of one of those Vegas showgirls, the way they get the high kicks going right now. Galicia might not like my comparison, but I stand by it.
It's an interesting reference for sure. Not what I was expecting, but kind of accurate.
He has quite the extension on it. He's got a good stretch every time he goes in for a windup.
It's honestly impressive how flexible he is, because I know myself. I am not the most flexible person, to say the least. I'm sure people out there listening that know me can attest to that, as there's a fastball off the plate 3-0. And I can think right now, as my dad is listening to this game back in Flat Rock, Michigan, he is probably chuckling. It is in Flat Rock about 1:30 or 12:30 in the morning right now. I'm sure you can hear that. There's a fastball, strike one, 3-1.
Right now, Wilson only been able to get on by way of error in the first inning, as Zuko Tillman couldn't really figure out the bounce that the ball was getting off the mound.
Fastball here, grounded to short slowly. Picked up by Lopez at short. Long throw to first, and just in time. Wow. Tyler Wilson cannot believe it at first. That one looked like he was safe.
That's similar to the Ricky Nunez shot, where both of them looked like they might have had a foot on the base before the ball got there, but can't really change anything from where we're at right now.
That was very close. Instead, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Glacier. We will head to the bottom of the sixth. Aaron Winkler back out for his second inning of work for the Miners. We'll be back here from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. Welcome back here as we start the bottom of the sixth inning. To the plate for the Glacier Pilots, it will be Cole Escher.
And Escher already left his mark on this game with that inside the park home run.
As he watches a breaking ball in there. Inside part of the zone, strike one. Yeah, Escher hit that one down the line. Got the inside the park home run. 0-1 pitch is a fastball fouled back to the screen. Aaron Winkler, as I said before we went to break, on for his second inning of work. Allowed a couple of base runners via an error and a hit by pitch in the fifth, but was able to navigate around trouble. Here's the 0-2 fastball. Where did that miss? Interesting strike zone today, to say the least. I'm not going to comment too into that, but it's been a bit inconsistent.
The only real option that could be leading to a ball was just the positioning of Thompson, a bit shaded to the outside.
1-2 breaking ball, line down the left field line. That's going to get down. Wilson up with it near the line quickly. His throw into second base is actually going to steer the runner. Escher back to the bag. Nice throw by Tyler Wilson. So he'll keep Escher over at first. A nice play. That's a lot harder than it looks. Coming all the way over the line to get to that and throw it to second.
Didn't even require a cutoff on that throw. Just got right over two landers at second.
It was a really long turn by Escher. I really thought he was going to second, but he put on the brakes and got back in. So that'll be the catcher, Grant Weiss, to the plate. 1 on, none out. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up in the infield. Bermudez going out, Landers going out. Landers under it, behind second base. He'll make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out, 1 away here in the bottom of the sixth, and it's going to be Terrence Seguida to the plate. Seguida, the ABL's leading hitter coming into this game, hasn't been able to get a hit yet today. Seguida 1 on, 1 out. Runner at first is Escher. At the set, Winkler, first pitch coming. Seguida scores the bunt, but it's way foul up the third base line. Not expecting a bigger guy like Seguida to bunt. Was Sweeney. Miners are shaded a decent amount on him. Sweeney over at third isn't quite at the shortstop position, but he's shaded more towards the right, or more towards his left Up the middle, Bermudez near the second base bag. Landers pretty much straight up at second. 0-1 pitch to Seguida. Missed low. Looked like maybe a breaking ball. 1-1 here on Terrence Seguida.
Seguida, if he could get a shot down that left line, right by the third base pillow, there's no way Sweeney could get back over there, as much as he's shown that athleticism to dive for balls.
Here's a fastball grounded to Sorelli. Sorelli's going to go to second. Bermudez snapped over to first. Oh, man. Just off the bag was Winkler. First base umpire called him slightly off the bag. Winkler is not happy with this call, and here comes Tyler LeBrun.
That first base umpire is making plenty of friends with the Glacier Pilots fans, but not a whole lot.
He's making none on the minor side. LeBrun out, and we'll see what happens here. LeBrun having a conversation.
That one is a bit ridiculous considering Wilson called out in the previous inning for sure.
LeBrun having an extended conversation. Looks to be civil, at least right now. Winkler did pull his foot a little bit. You couldn't really tell if it came all the way off the bag. Conversation's over between LeBrun and the first base umpire. So Seguida reaches on a fielder's choice on a potential double play. So Sorelli gets the out at second as he threw over to Bermudez, but Winkler covering, not able to keep his foot on the bag. Throw beat Seguida by a couple of steps. So it'll extend the inning. Fausto Lopez to the plate. Lopez,
Two on the day.
he can swing the bat. Hard hit ball last time up. Checking Seguida over at first is Winkler. 2 away here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, hit pretty deep center field. Nunez going back, still going. Now he'll camp under it, and he'll make the catch just shy of the warning track in center field. So the Pilots get a man on, can't bring him home. We'll head to the top of the 7th here from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Miners trail 4-0 down to the last 9 outs, looking for some runs. We'll be back here after a short intermission. Welcome back in here to Anchorage as we are about to start the top of the 7th inning, 8:41 local time. Jimmy Galicia back on for a second inning of work for the Glacier Pilots. Still trying to keep that shutout going. 9 more outs to go. It's going to be Casey Rother to the plate. Rother is flew out to right, grounded to second. It's important for Rother to get on first. He's their best hitter in their order. Can really sting the ball. If he can get on quickly, it'd be Nakamura next. Maybe he can get something started. But it all starts here with Rother.
And no hits here would also end a pretty healthy streak by Casey Rother for hits in a game. Also a chance right now for the Miners to be staring down their first shutout of the season.
Galicia with a fastball on the outside edge. Strike 1. Galicia 0-1 in the count. Here comes the 0-1. Here it is. Breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Strike 2.
That's a bit inside. Rother thought he saw it a bit too far, but Not going to go with the home umpire, now behind an 0-2 count.
0-2 now on Ruther as he tries to stay alive. Here it comes from Glacier. In the dirt with a slider. So, Ruther, 1-2 now. Glacier is going to be entering his senior year next year. Loyola Marymount. Ruther into the box now. Choking up on the bat with 2 strikes. Glacier, high leg kick. Here it comes. Lined into short left field, and that ball's going to drop. So Casey Ruther, the first to base here with nobody out in the 7th. Said that coming in, that the Miners really need a runner here to start the 7th. They get in the form of Casey Ruther. Good job there by Casey to choke up with 2 strikes and just take what he was given into short left.
Breaking that seal. Rother keeps that alive, keeps his team alive. They need Nakamura to get a solid hit here to extend what looks like they might be falling behind slowly.
So Kevin Nakamura in now. First pitch is a fastball off the plate. Nakamura trying to stay out of the double play. Miners grounded to 1 each in the 1st and the 2nd. Nakamura was actually the double play victim in the 1st. He can get on next. Miners have a little bit of a rally here.
First time we've seen Glacier out of the stretch too. Loses that high leg kick whenever he goes into it.
There's a fastball thrown by Nakamura. Low. Strike 1.
I guess the leg kick would take a fair amount of time, even though Rother isn't the speediest on the team. A solid giveaway that about to enter his windup, because that one's far and outside.
Yeah, he missed way outside there. Glacier Pilots, nobody throwing in the pen right now, but there's some guys loosening their arms, it looks like. 2-1. Here on Kevin Nakamura. Fastball lined hard, but foul down the third baseline. Actually, off the structure that is the Bucks clubhouse.
Just peppering it, honestly.
2-2. A lot more protection over there than there is up here against this glass, though.
Nakamura just hoping to stay alive. Get his first hit of the game.
Nakamura, an even count, 2-2. Rother takes his lead off first. Here it comes. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Kevin Nakamura put down on strikes. It's a strikeout for Jimmy Galicia, and now it's going to be Nick Sorelli to the plate.
Sorelli, one of the few Miners with an actual hit in this game. Had another chance at one too, but if it wasn't for that sliding, beautiful throw by Fausto Lopez,
he would add another one. Sorelli at the dish. 1 on, 1 out. Here it comes. Fastball outside edge. A little bit too outside, I guess. 1-0. Sorelli checks, swung it, held back. Checking over at first is the pitcher on the mound, Galicia. Rother inching off. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up into foul ground. Moving over is McNamara, and he's not going to have room. Ball lands just to the left of the stands over the Miners' dugout.
was a kid with a glove over there, but couldn't quite make the play himself.
Yeah. Tough play over in Mulcahy Stadium if you got a glove in the crowd. There's a lot of stands in different portions of the park. Not a lot of running room. Not like you have at Herman Brothers. So if you're a ball hawk, Herman Brothers is the place to be. So Zach Campbell, if you're listening, actually probably don't come. Herman Brothers, but anyway, here's the 1-1, swing and a miss. Sorelli swinging out of his shoes on a changeup, 1-2.
Giving that Javier Baez all or nothing swing on that one, which you like to see from a power hitter, but Sorelli's also demonstrated an ability to have a bit of an eagle eye.
Sorelli back in now, 1-2. Rother over at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball grounded right side, picked up by the first baseman. Man, he'll go to second, relay to first, in time. That one just beat Sorelli. Third double play of the game for the Miners. Casey Rother gets a leadoff single here in the 7th, but the Miners stall out after that. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Miners still trail 4-0 here from Mulcahy Stadium. Welcome back here from Mulcahy Stadium as we start the bottom of the 7th after the 7th inning stretch here in Anchorage. Aaron Winkler back out for his 3rd inning work, scoring the bunt initially was number 2, Ornelas for the Pilots, pulls back, ball 1.
Ornelas, one of the few Pilots that really hasn't seen much offense generated from him today.
As he fouls off that bunt attempt, 1-1. Ornelas hit a ball hard back in, I believe, the 5th inning on a line to left center that Nunez ran down. Gets a chance to hit here. Actually, rather the 4th inning was that line drive. So Ornelas into the box. Wink in the top of the order next. And then Toback. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Came with something soft, 0-2. A bright spot. There's been only a few of them today for the Miners. Aaron Winkler's looked really good out of the pen in his 3rd inning of work. Here's a breaking ball just off the plate. 2 and 2 now. One run on Ornelas. It had been Ornelas.
Winkler didn't even get much chance at Rutgers this year to demonstrate what he can do, only being able to pitch an inning or so throughout the entire season.
That pitch was fouled back. Ornelas, left-handed batter. Sitting in the box, pretty much straight up stance, slightly open. Cocking that bat back over the left shoulder. Here's the 2-2 fastball up and away. So Winkler has gone full now on Ornelas.
Looking for his first putout of this inning.
Swing and a miss. Winkler coming back with that fastball. Ornelas swinging right through it. First out of the 7th inning.
Might have been a bit tardy after seeing a few fly on the outside of the plate. Just able to recognize it a bit too late that time. First out of the inning, and now Blake Wink back up. Of course, he got home on that 2-run home run over the left field wall in the 1st inning with Mann. Hasn't had a hit since then.
Wink's back in now. Right-handed batter against the right-handed Winkler. First pitch is just up, 0-1. Miners trying to get through the 7th and desperately hoping to get some offense in the 8th, but it all starts here with keeping it at 4-0. Here's the pitch off the plate, swinging, 1-1.
This might be the most comfortable situation that Winkler has seen so far today. None on, 1 out, and only the man in front of him to worry about in a 1-1 count.
Here it comes on 1-1. Fastball outside corner. Winkler drilling the edge, hitting the black. It's 1-2 now. Miners' defense today has been pretty solid outside of an error from Kyle Landers.
Not too much you can do when the other team's hitting well for power in tough spots, but they've done a good job of at least minimizing the damages.
There's a missed breaking ball, 2-2 now. Here on the leadoff hitter for the Pilots, Blake Wink. 2-2 count. Winkler sets, fires, breaking ball lined hard but foul down the 3rd base line.
He at least managed to split the difference between the 3rd baseline and his 3rd base coach there. Not really causing anybody to move. I think that's called a field goal in any other sport.
Straight through the uprights. There is actual uprights down the left field line here at Mulcahy. There is a nice field turf football stadium, presumably used for high school games, just beyond the left field fence. Here comes the 2-2 fastball, fouled back out of play.
If you can hit a home run through the uprights, I feel like you should get at least an extra point on top of that.
Yeah, well, extra point.
Yeah, exactly.
Works well.
It's a play on words. I'm glad you're coming along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm not usually the quickest at that, to be completely honest with you. My
You caught on fast that time.
My
I'm proud of you.
professors at Bowling Green State University can attest to that. 2-2 pitch to Wink. Fastball just missed.
It's also a Winkler to Wink
Yeah.
pitching batting right now.
Feels like Jesse Winker should be playing somewhere in the field.
That might be a bit too many winks.
Another 3-2 count here for Winkler. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball line straight up into the air. Sweeney camped under it at third, mile high. He'll come down with it, 2 away. So back-to-back full counts. He got Ornelas swinging, and then gets a pop out there from Wink. It's going to be Tom Toback to the plate. Toback scored a run after tripling down the right field line with 1 out in the 4th off Lance Santier.
Came in on that sac fly. Not going to have anybody behind him just yet. Does have McNamara in the on-deck circle should he get on, but right now he needs to worry about not becoming the 3rd out of this inning for the Pilots.
There's a fastball off the plate, 1-0. Looks like Austin Robertson has actually picked up a ball in the Miners bullpen. That would be his first appearance of the year. He's throwing down in the Miners pen.
One of the native Alaskan players, Austin Robertson, as this one's going to be another mile-high shot.
As this one's popped up, shortstop Bermudez ranging into short left. He'll come down with it to make the catch. How about Aaron Winkler? 3 scoreless innings out of the pen for the Rutgers product. We will head to the top of the 8th. Miners still looking for their first run as they trail 4-0 here from Mulcahy Stadium, and we'll be right back here with some more action. Welcome back in here to Mulcahy Stadium as we start the top of the 8th. It'll be Jared Sweeney, the 6th hitter, to the plate first. So we have a bit of a B problem in the box here at Mulcahy as it flies away. First pitch to Sweeney from the new arm for the Glacier Pilots. It's number 24, Cody Kerfman, who's heading into his senior year at Northern State University. Austin Robertson was actually warming up in the pen for the Miners is for Northern State as well. 1-0 pitch, fastball fouled away. This year at Northern State, pitched in 11 innings, 11 strikeouts, 9.82 ERA for Kerfman. He is a native Alaskan from Shugiak, standing at 6 foot 275 pounds, right-handed pitcher.
Had a bit of a stronger showing so far this year in the ABL. Kerfman, 3 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, only 1 walk.
Yeah. Good numbers from Kerfman.
Right now being given a chance to continue that and having a bit of a friendly rivalry with Northern State pitcher Austin Robertson should he come out of the bullpen.
Here's a fastball ticked away by Sweeney. He's now down 1-2. Northern State located in Aberdeen, South Dakota. Pretty far off the beaten track in South Dakota, but they play baseball there. Here's the 1-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Sweeney takes 2-2. 6, 7, 8, Sweeney, and then the 7-hitter Nunez, and then the catcher Thompson.
Sweeney, the only one that's really created power contact so far today for the Miners that stayed fair with that shot over the center fielder. As another one comes off his bat here.
He stings that one into right center field, but coming on to make a sliding grab in right center field is Ornelas. Sweeney robbed of his second hit of the game. Good to see him at least seeing the ball well. He's hitting a lot of balls hard today. And now it's going to step up Ricky Nunez. Nunez, another guy robbed of it, hit his last at-bat. Hit a sharp grounder on a short hop to the second baseman, Wink, who stumbled over to get it and threw out Nunez on a bang-bang play at first.
We were complimenting the defense of the Miners earlier, but defense for the Glacier Pilots has been just as impressive. Maybe a few more web gems on their side.
They've been really good, specifically up the middle. Wink and Lopez been really solid. As there's a breaking ball for strike one to Nunez. 0-1 pitch off the plate, 1-1.
Fausto Lopez, not even necessarily their everyday shortstop, as he had to move over to the role filling an injury to their everyday starter. So just making it even more impressive.
It's a fastball, strike two to Nunez, 1-2. Miners still without a runner here in the eighth.
Time running out on their chances too. 5 outs away. Not counting the man at the plate right now.
There's a timeout call by the home plate ump. Still 1-2. They'll get back into it. Other scores around the league. Just Peninsula and Shugiak playing today. As here's a soft ground ball. We'll get back to the score in a second. To the second baseman, Wink. He'll throw out Nunez. In time, 2 away here in the eighth. Speaking to that other score, Peninsula currently leads Shugiak in Shugiak by a score of 4-1 in the top of the seventh.
Shugiak got off to a hot start earlier in this year. 4-1 after those 2 losses to the Miners. Now it seems like they're about to break even on the season at 500.
Hopefully, for the Oilers, they get to there. Now the batter plays Thompson as he watches ball 1. Miners, obviously with the day off tomorrow, they will be at home against those said Oilers. 7 p.m. on Monday. Willie Johnson is the one tentatively tasked with the start on Monday. It'll be home against the Oilers on Monday, home against the Chinooks on Tuesday the 15th, then an off day on the 16th, and then a road game in Shugiak against the Chinooks before they start a 5-game series in the Kenai Peninsula against the Peninsula Oilers, as there's a strike to Thompson. A lot of games coming up for the Miners.
It's the month of June.
Here comes the line to the pitch. This ball struck into left center field. This is going to split the outfielders. Cutting it off in left center field is Tabak. Rolling into second is Thompson with a head first slide. And there's a 2-out double for Sam Thompson.
He had a head full of steam on that one. He saw it split the 2 out there. Tabak and Ornelas couldn't quite get there. Great throw, but the cutoff made sure it didn't get there in time.
So Tabak made a decent relay throw, but it was too deep in the gap to get Thompson. Thompson's second double of the year, and now with 2 away and a runner on second, it's going to be David Bermudez, who still is looking for his first Miners hit.
Talk about a great time to get it. Maybe now would be the best time if you could start getting a rally going. Second to last inning rally is not something foreign to these Matsu Miners.
Runner on second, 2 away. First pitch, low in the dirt. Kerfman has not allowed a run this year. Miners trying to be the first one to score on it. Bermudez up. If it were to get to him, Kyle Landers is due up on deck, but Waylon Payne is in the on-deck circle for the Miners. He's yet to appear in a game.
That'd be his first at-bat.
Kerfman checking the runner. Here it is. 1-0. Swung on, popped up shallow right field. Coming on is the right fielder Escher, and calling off everybody is the second baseman Wink. He'll make the catch, and that'll end things here in the eighth. Miners get a 2-out double from Sam Thompson, but can't bring him around. We'll head to the bottom of the eighth. Miners still trail 4-0 here from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Welcome back here to the bottom of the 8th inning as we have a new pitcher on Austin Robertson on for his first appearance of the year in a Miners uniform. Redshirt sophomore at Northern State University, 6'4", 195 pounds from Wasilla, Alaska. He did not attend Wasilla High School. He attended Matsu Career and Tech Education. So Robertson on here in the 8th as we have a defensive sub as well. Waylon Payne, who was in the on-deck circle for Kyle Landers in the 8th, will stay out there. He's going to play second.
A lot of firsts for the Miners right now, and it is going to be that Northern State matchup that we were talking about.
As first pitch from Robertson is fouled away, 0-1.
That one's pinballing off the dugout past the third base coach, and it takes the adept eye of Sweeney to eventually put it to an end.
Michael McNamara to the plate. Robertson to face 3, 4, 5 in the order.
Definitely throwing him into the fire with that kind of part of the lineup.
And he's going to hit McNamara in the head here. McNamara just taking it. He didn't jog down to first base. He kind of just ducked as he got hit. Took it. That's the third hit by pitch today for Miners pitchers. Robertson lets that one get away from him. One on, nobody out, and the man to the plate now is Ethan Mann.
Man is the man. Gonna have the ball roll behind him a bit. Gonna be golfed back into the dugout by the Glacier Pilot.
Having some fun. Glacier Pilots, if they were able to hold on today, will take over as the leaders of the ABL.
Man, almost thought he got hit again there. Gonna be far inside, but
Ball in, 1-0. Robertson on to pitch here in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Just missed up and in. Robertson's falling behind in 2-0.
Robertson having a tough time right now. Only strike he's created is off that foul ball.
Robertson checks the runner over at first. 2-0 pitch. Fastball called strike on the inner half.
Lost his hat, but at least he picked up that strike on the inside. That was a nice position.
Robertson still behind here, 2-1, but he gets one over there. Checking McNamara over at first. 2-1 pitch, runner takes off. Fastball up, throw down to second base, there will be no throw. McNamara swipes second without a throw. Good speed there. Second steal of the game for the Pilots. McNamara's first. Runner in scoring position now. 3-1 count here on Ethan Mann.
Surprisingly, no effort there at time on Thompson. Definitely more eager. We saw him throw someone out earlier. But not going to go for it here.
Robertson taking a long look back. Here's the pitch. Fastball, strike 2. Hit the black, low and away. 3-2 now on Ethan Mann.
Man, hasn't even taken a swing at this at-bat. The first two really pushed him away. He just watched everything come across since.
At the set now, 3-2 pitch. Just missed off the plate. So Robertson loses him, hit by a pitch and walk to start the 8th here for the Pilots. First and second, nobody out. No activity down the Miners bullpen, so it looks like it's Robertson's inning. Pilots have a man up, a right-hander in their pen. Should they turn to him in the 9th? Would not be a save situation because it's not within 3 runs. We'll see if he enters. Here's a fastball. Robertson throws it by and snapped over to first, not in time. Now breaking for third is McNamara, and he's safe over there at third. Good heads-up base running by Michael McNamara. Sam Thompson with a snap throw over to first, couldn't get him. McNamara just broke right for third. So first and third now, 0-1. Still no one out here in the 8th.
Definitely looming on the corners right now. Robertson needs to get some clean pitching to get out of this without any damage.
Checks the runner. And he missed inside with a bit of a sidearm pitch. He offers a couple different arm slots, both over the top and sidearm, as he missed there, 1-1. There would be Grant Weiss. Checks the runner. 1-1 pitch. Swung on and hammered, but way back out of play, and that just missed a car in the parking lot.
Someone check your truck just in case after the game. Red truck in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You got barely away with that one.
Yeah, that was close. Very close call. 1-2 now. On Cole Escher. Robertson looking for his first out. Here it comes. Fastball line pretty deep center field. Nunez played back now. He's coming in on it. He'll make the catch. McNamara breaking for the plate. The throw to the plate is cut off. And it's 5-0 Pilots. Anchorage Glacier Pilots staking a 5-0 lead. But at least Robertson gets it out there. Now it's 1 on 1 out. Coming to the plate is Grant Waits, the catcher.
And now the Pilots really just working on burying this game away. No game is over until it is absolutely over, but the more runs you secure, it's pretty easy math that the odds are better you're going to come away with the win.
5-0 Pilots. One out here in the eighth. Here's a sidearm pitch. Throws it right by him. Strike one. Yeah, he offers a sidearm submarine over the top. Keeps hitters off balance. Doesn't have the most velocity in the world, but is able to kind of keep hitters off balance with a variety of arm angles. Here's a little chip shot down to third. No play at second. Throw will go to first instead. There's a ground out. That bat might be broken. There's 2 outs now. Grant Weiss grounds out. It's going to be Terrence Seguida to the plate.
I have not seen the pieces flying, but you could definitely hear that one. The chipping sound that ripped down that bat.
So runner on second down, 2-way. Robertson trying to get off with just the 1 run allowed here in the eighth.
Seguida, still no hits in this game as far as I can remember. He might be able to get on for the first time with a walk here if he keeps a good eye like that. Robertson looking to just minimize the damages at 1.
Robertson, a 1-1 count as that pitch is fouled away. 1-1 it stands on Terrence Seguida. Robertson takes a long look in. 1-1 pitch. Robertson checks the runner at second. Here it comes. Missed with a breaking ball. 2-1. Came with the overhand angle that time. 2 up for the Miners in the ninth. It'll be the top of the order. Waylon Payne just inserted into the game. He's at second base. Will be the first to the plate. Here's the pitch. Off the plate with fastball. Robertson's gone 3-1 now on Terrence Seguida. Next would be the shortstop Fausto Lopez, who's made a number of great plays out there today. Robertson checks the runner. Sidearm pitch, and it's over for a strike. 3-2.
Robertson has fallen behind in a few of these at-bats, but he's done a solid job of extending them nearly as long as he can. Besides the first one with the first pitch hitting him in the helmet, this one going to be a full count again.
Here's a sidearm angle as Seguida fouls it away. Still 3-2. Right-hander still throwing down to the Pilots bullpen. It's 5-0, non-save situation, so it remain to be seen. The Pilots opt to go to a new pitcher in the ninth. Robertson sets. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, stung into center field. Nunez coming on. He'll make the catch. Ricky Nunez coming on to make the play, and Robertson escapes even more damage in the eighth. Pilots get a run via the sac fly, and we'll head to the top of the ninth. Miners down to the last 3 outs here from Mulcahy Stadium, and we'll be right back here from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage. welcome back here into the top of the ninth. Waylon Payne, who took over at second for Kyle Landers in the eighth, will come up to the plate now in the ninth for his first minors at bat. Right-handed hitting Payne from Arizona Christian University, redshirted this spring. Payne looking to spray something somewhere as the Miners down 5 runs, just need base runners.
Didn't really get much opportunity at Arizona Christian. No recorded stats we were able to find.
First pitch is a fastball from a new pitcher on the mound for the Pilots. It's Evan Adolphus. Adolphus, a sophomore from Cal State Fullerton, state local from Fullerton, California. 6'2", 230 pounds.
Just a bit of mix-up of the words, but pretty much the same thing. Didn't get too much of a chance to pitch there either. Only 7 innings on his ledger.
There's a fastball lined into shallow right field. Coming on, and it's going to drop. Payne with a big turnaround first. Escher up with it. And Waylon Payne's first hit in a Miners uniform. Dugout loving it. And he's aboard here with nobody out in the ninth. It's going to be Tyler Wilson batting from the left-handed side against a right-hander.
You might have earned yourself some more at-bats, Waylon Payne.
Yeah, that was a nice swing on it. It was off the plate, out of the zone, but Payne getting barreled the ball and took it the opposite way. So Waylon Payne with his first hit in a Miners uniform. 1 for 1, can't do much better than that. It's Tyler Wilson to the plate now as a check over at Payne, back in safely. Dolphus took a quick step off the mound. The throw over to first was pretty soft actually though. So Wilson in now. Miners need base runners here in the ninth. Adolphus at the set. From the stretch, first pitch. Line high up in the air into foul ground. Moving over towards the line, McNamara. He'll camp under it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Tyler Wilson retired again.
That might be the first foul out that we have seen in this game. As we mentioned before, not a whole lot of ground past the foul line for them to actually get it down. But that one just went straight up and barely over to the left. McNamara didn't even need to make that much of a hustle to get under it. Casey Rother backed up to the plate. Did get a hit earlier in this game. They would love for him to get another one right now as they are staring at a pretty steep climb up from a 5-0 deficit with only 2 outs remaining.
Casey Rother in. He singled the left last time. He got way behind in the count, was able to fight back. He got a single to the left. Rother 1 for 3 on the day. Just a pitch. Fastball, a bit up. Rother takes 1-0. And there's just 2 more outs. Back in is Rother. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hammer down the left field line. That ball's going to get down on a hop off the wall. Payne on second. He's digging into third. He's going to have to hustle into third, and he'll just get in there. Rother into second. So Rother with a multi-hit day, he gets a double down the left field line. Give him 4 doubles on the year for Casey Rother, and the Miners have second and third with 1 out here in the ninth.
And Payne, bit of a hesitation in between the first and second base path as he was trying to see if that one was going to land fair. As soon as it did, he took off, but made that way closer than it should have been at the third base.
Was interested in why Lopez didn't even give it a try at third. It looked like had he thrown it to third, they would have had a chance to get Payne. However, they didn't, as there's a strike to Nakamura. He didn't agree with it, 0-1. Miners have left a ton of runners on base today. Hasn't helped with 3 inning-ending double plays. Nakamura back in. 0-1. Strike 2, outside edge. Nakamura down 0-2. Adolphus going way ahead.
Nakamura doesn't have a hit in this game so far right now. Been called out on the plate. Really just been stuck grounding balls out so far today.
Rother at second. Payne at third. Adolphus at the set, the 0-2. Fastball off the plate is going to get by the catcher to the screen. Coming in to score is Waylon Payne. He'll score the first run of the game for the Miners. So they finally get a run here in the ninth on a wild pitch. Casey Rother goes up to third. Miners trail by 4 now.
There will not be a shutout today for the Miners. Maybe didn't gather an RBI like they were expecting, but they'll take it regardless. Still only 1 out. Nakamura has a chance to make it a closer game.
1-2 pitch, swung on, hit pretty well, center field. Going back is the center fielder Ornelas. He'll camp under it, make the catch. Tagging from third is Ruther. He'll score easily. So the Miners make it a 5-2 game, but now they're down to their last out. Sack fly for Kevin Nakamura.
His 8th RBI of the season as well. You know he would have loved to keep that fair and keep it going with only 1 out. But now it's going to be the big bat of Nick Sorelli. Down 3. And he might be able to get that extra point we were talking about earlier before the uprights, but that wouldn't quite go with the umpires.
First pitch is a fastball, strike 1.
Robert Andrews really just hoping his squad can get out of this without any more damage being done right now.
Swing and a miss from Sorelli on a breaking ball, and the Miners are down to the last strike. Sorelli back into the plate, trying to battle here. Miners finally got on the board here with a couple in the 9th. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on, back up the middle, and Sorelli's aboard.
They have life!
So Sorelli on an 0-2 pitch turns around a fastball over the plate. And all of a sudden, the batter of the on-deck circle is the tying run. It brings Jared Sweeney to the plate trying to extend it. Sweeney has had a ringing double earlier in this game, and they got robbed by Ornelas of a gap shot, I believe in the 7th. So Sweeney with a chance here now.
That's going to be Sorelli's 2nd hit of the game as well.
As he swings and pops that one back into foul ground, that's going to get out of play, 0-1.
Sweeney's thanking his lucky stars for the short foul field here.
And if Sweeney can get on, things become a lot more interesting all of a sudden.
Has Ricky Nunez behind him in the on-deck circle. Sam Thompson in the hole. Should we get that far? We're not trying to jinx them, ladies and gentlemen, but this team does know how to rally when they get going.
There's a throw over to first. It's going to get by. There was nobody covering the bag all the way to the fence up the first baseline. The first baseman man up with it. He's got it. Sorelli to second. Not really sure what Adolphus was thinking there. There was man over at first. He was way off the bag, playing normal straight up, not even covering Sorelli. Adolphus stepped off, threw it over there to nobody.
And thanks to that, Miners now have a man in scoring position as well. Still 2 outs in this inning. Sweeney still facing down the opportunity to drive in another run, make this an even closer game with a late rally here.
Sweeney's got a shot. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss.
Down to their last strike now.
0-2 on Jared Sweeney. Sorelli turned around an 0-2 fastball his last time to the plate. For a single, we'll see if Sweeney can have similar success. Adolphus at the set, the 0-2. Up and in. Good take by Sweeney. Stays alive to see another one. It's 1-2 on Jared Sweeney. Left-handed bat into this one as the switch hitter against the right-hander, Adolphus. Adolphus at the set. 1-2 pitch. Fastball grounded right side. Diving stop by the second baseman. Wink thrown to first in time.
Solid contact there, but just better defense by Wink. Teammates gonna celebrate with him, and those kind of plays are exactly why they walk away with the win today.
Defense was the story of the game today for the Pilots, combined with some big-time power hitting. So Blake Wink takes away a potential hit from Sweeney. Nunez would have been next to tying run, but it will end before that. So we have a final here tonight from Mulcahy Stadium. The Miners' 4-game win streak comes to an end as they drop this contest by a score of 5-2. The winning pitcher for the Glacier Pilots was Zuko Tillman. He'll move to 1-0. He went 5 innings today of no-run baseball. Taking the loss will be Lance Santier, who lasted 4 innings, allowing 4 runs. There was no save recorded. Once again, our final here from Anchorage tonight is Pilots 5, Miners 2. Miners have an off day tomorrow, and they'll be back on Monday at home against the Peninsula Oilers. That game will start at 7:05. Our game-ending time tonight was 9:25 p.m. Game lasted about 2 hours and 25 minutes. For myself, Reese Landon, and my broadcaster, Sean Neef, we'd like to thank you all for tuning in tonight from Anchorage, and we'll be back Monday. First pitch at 7:05. We'll be on the air around 7 o'clock, and we hope to see you there.